in my room, time after time. All I've got left is my will to survive, but I've got the fire burning inside, and I've waited so long for this moment in time. I'm gonna change, you wait and see. I'm gonna be the best I can be. I'll be much better than everybody, 'cause this time it's all about me. You can dream when you sleep, you can sleep when you're dead. The bitch is hungry and she needs to be fed. I'm not gonna have sand kicked in my face anymore till the day that I die. Show me the way, show me a sign, show me that this time it's my turn to shine. I'm gonna be so much better than you, 'cause this time it's all about me.
About me, it's all about me. Not you, it's all about me. Fuck you, 'cause it's all about me.
Early to bed, early to rise. Could I have a salad instead of the fries? The odds are against me, but what the hell? I'm gonna start standing up for myself. I'm gonna change, you wait and see. I'm gonna be the best I can be. I'll be much better than everybody, 'cause this time it's all about me. She was my true love, now she's dead and gone. She made me feel whole, and when I felt she'd hold my hand when nobody ever would. She understood. She came with me everywhere I'd go. I miss her so. She was my only true love. She was all I would ever need. But now she's dead and buried under the willow tree. Holy guacamole, holy guacamole. I just got hit by a car, and you're the one who swept me off my feet, pushed me in the street, left me in a coma. Guacamole me, guacamole you. I just got busted for drugs. And you're the one who sold me to the Fed, leaving me for dead, played me for a fool. Making guacamole, mix it in the bowlie. I just got mauled by a bear. And you're the one who covered me with honey. Thought it was so funny. How could you be so cruel? Take it. That's good. Captain Guacamole, Officer Stromboli, I just got shot in the face. And you're the one who had the smoking gun. Love is just no fun whenever I'm with you. Guacamole coma, Yuma, Arizona. I just got hepatitis C. And you were standing there with a syringe. How it makes me cringe, breaks my heart in two. Holy guacamole, lumpy, green and rolly. Baby, I wouldn't change a thing. 'Cause even though I'm down upon my luck, I don't give a fuck, long as I have you.
Testing 1, 2, 3, check. Test 1, 2, help. Help. Whew. Hello everybody and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we're going to be teaching you how to make rosemary balsamic peaches with honey and whipped ricotta. It's a very difficult dish, but if you do it correctly, you'll be rewarded with a delicious dish. Big Nesky says, Henry, please put a jacket on as to not get a cold. Oh, a couple things. One, I'm not really in a wintry, snowy place. This is a picture that was submitted to us namely by Gile Game Kande, and wanted to share probably whatever their view is from their backyard or whatever. But this is green screen technology. If I go like this, we're going to be back in my kitchen, but I don't want to ruin the magic of it. But because of the magic of green screen technology, we can literally be anywhere in the world that we want based on your submissions to the Discord. I'm very happy to announce that there are snow caps finally in the mountains near where I live, because we had a very dry January and it caused a lot of havoc. Carhu38 says, is the cat still alive? Haven't watched this show in a couple of years. Well, welcome back, Carhu38. That cat is roast beef, and you have a great question, and let me just show you right now. There he is. He is alive. It's not completely evident from this cam shot because he doesn't move much, and I don't like to disturb him because then he wakes up and he's very groggy and he tries to ruin the stream. But for the time being anyway, he is alive and well. Well, I'd say he's alive. I don't know if he's well. Mr. Robot says, why are you making the cat into roast beef? No, that's the cat's name. It's just sort of a cute name. Parasitosis says, Boof been dead for 5 years. This is all stock footage. Yeah, there is a little bit of a conspiracy theory circulating online that Henry's Kitchen's cat, Roast Beef, died several years ago, but I've been using pre-recorded footage to keep up appearances because we all know that cats get views on social media. I don't know how to disprove that. But I'm going to turn off the light because it looks like he's not digging the light there. Check 1, 2. Let's see what else we've got here. I want to thank Auntie Paster for that awesome opening artwork. One of my favorite bands, Led Zeppelin, and I feel like because of this, I feel like for a moment I was part of Led Zeppelin. I am being upstaged by my cat, but that's the way it was between Page and Plant. They were constantly competing for the spotlight. Okay, so Alexander Dean shares some artwork from an artist named Tim Lydiard. And it's remarkable what a resemblance this has to a young, more spry roast beef. Even a couple of years ago on the stream, he was knocking shit off of the tables and stuff. This is an excellent picture. Thank you very much. I'm going to use this picture as a backdrop to pour my coffee. T-Dews also got to see Robert Plant play years back at a festival. That's awesome. Was that in the early days of his solo efforts, or was it even in the later times when he's been touring with Alison Krauss? I never got to see any of those shows, but it's very cool. Norel Borel. Yeah, I'm not sure how you see Jimmy. I kind of lost track, but maybe he performs maybe in benefit concerts or something. Okay, so let's see what else we got. We've got some music that we're going to do for you here in a second. It's Kate shares a picture of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. There was a user named lame_ZZ who shared a picture of the Colosseum, and it was being upstaged by a water bottle. And even though we were advised to ignore the water bottle, it was impossible to do so. And it started a sort of a trend of pop art, similar to Andy Warhol. Now, famous landmarks envisioned as a water bottle, and this is no exception. This is great, It's Kate. Thanks for this. And we have a couple of them. That's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And Liberdaria sent us a picture of the Great Arch in St. Louis. And that, of course, has a water bottle as well. Let's keep this going. Let's make it happen. I want this to be a famous thing that if anybody sees it, they go, what the fuck's going on with the water bottle? And then somebody can say, oh, you don't watch Henry's Kitchen? Just watch it. He'll explain all of it. And, you know, that's how you kind of get stuff going. In fact, speaking of getting stuff going, I want to do a very special announcement here. And excuse me if it's going to be a little bit tricky. It always is. It's never easy. But there is a user amongst us. That I haven't seen in a little bit, but I'm sure Nella is here somewhere. Nella has been doing an incredible job of spreading the word with Henry's Kitchen via some social media efforts and doing a better job than I could have ever done. And I want to say cooking is what I do. That's what I do. Obviously, the most common comment that I get on social media is, why doesn't this have more views? Which sucks because it's like, I don't know. But Nella is doing an incredible job with social media, and I want to, right now, give her VIP status. Nella, you're now a VIP. Thank you so much for all that you do here. And there'll be more. I'm going to be a little bit more generous. Roast Beef is very excited about Nella being a VIP. He just got up out of bed. And now he's going over to get some food. Here, I'll put the camera on his food. Once again, thank you so much, Nella. You are a VIP, and I'm gonna be giving out more VIPs for the Henry's Kitchen users because it really is a community, and it's pretty amazing to see the work that people are doing. This is Roast Beef drinking water. Once he starts drinking water, he doesn't stop. I'm sure you remember the ad for Pringles potato chips. Once you pop, you don't stop, or something like that. That's pretty much what roast beef is, but with water. Loading Scream says, I love you, Henry. Thanks, Loading Scream. That's very nice of you. Liberdaria, you're right. This is a roast beef action sequence. I'm sort of mesmerized. I don't want to take the camera off. I don't know what's going to happen. I want to say some good news. I took roast beef to the vet recently because he was having some loose stools and some stomach issues. And the good news is they said he was completely fine. I, on the other hand, there was no explanation for my symptoms, but they don't do that kind of work. Roast beef is a very, very healthy 20-year-old cat, and it's unbelievable. He's a better man than I am. He's a better person. He's the handsome one in the household, and he's also just sort of generally speaking an upstanding individual. He can be a little opinionated at times, but I think his heart's in the right place. Okay, I'm not sure what he's going to do now, so I think we can take it off of him for a sec. Thanks again, Liberdaria, for sending this awesome image. It's time to start picking another image that we can use for our background. Oh, purple is a fruit. Or purple donut filling is a fruit, depending on which platform you like to use. This looks like roast beef as a kitten. I love it. This is fantastic. This is great. I know there's questions here. Everyone type Force and says, "Hi, Henry. Sorry I'm late. It's no problem. I quickly went to Costco to try to get some balsamic vinegar for today's recipe. I'm now banned from at least 70 Costco locations. I didn't even get the ingredients." Yeah, I mean, I've got it here. I maybe try Trader Joe's, but you should be able to find it. Purple donut filling is fruit. It took so much dynamite to get the right shot. Yeah, they had to do this over and over again. Thumper Thumps, what kind of beer is that in front of you? I've got beer in front of me. Oh, are you talking about this? No, this is balsamic vinegar, I guess. Super Potatoes 1989. Is roast beef still having some memory issues? Yeah, sometimes he'll do something. Oh, he's eating his food now. Let's put the camera on the food. See, that's a pretty good example. You saw that he was drinking water. Well, apparently he forgot that he already had water, so he went back to do more water. And he'll probably now go get some more food because he forgot that he already had food. So he is suffering from a little bit of what they call dementia. Not Alzheimer's. There's a very big distinction. Dementia is when the muscles in your brain just start doing a regular atrophy or atrophy. I never knew how to pronounce that word. Computer, how do you pronounce atrophy?
atrophy. It is a noun meaning a wasting away of a part, decrease or decay of function, tissue, or mass.
Computer, volume 10. Literally didn't help me at all. Just spelled it. That like. Computer, how do you pronounce atrophy?
Atrophy. Atrophy is the word used to describe the process
Okay,
of
computer, stop. I'm not going to go up to people, doctors, and say, "Hey, I think my cat's brain is atrophying." That was really dumb. Okay, atrophy. Roast beef, uncomfortable. Not sure what we can do about that, except for maybe this is a good time while I settle him in. Let's take a look at some of the early footage of roast beef as an actor. It'll only be about a minute. I know we've shown this a lot, but it's pretty fun to look back at roast beef's career as a 70s actor. Remember, cats have 9 lives, so he's been alive for about 100 years at this point. Okay, so that's roast beef. I put him on the couch. Hopefully he's going to stop bothering us. Loading Scream says, is the wheelchair a paid actor? Yeah, I think wheelchairs would be considered a featured extra. Evil Ian02, why is he so scared of the cat? Well, cats historically have been sort of mysterious creatures, and look at this. This cat is terrifying. That you do not want to see that in a dark alley. Norel Borel, how much did roast beef get paid for that role? We don't like to talk about that. That's a time before they had unions in place. Well, they had the SAG union, but they didn't have what are called residuals. And also, it was the movie was made abroad in Europe, so it wasn't. It didn't have the regular payment structure. Uh-oh, he's having a private moment, so we're gonna let him alone. Let's go ahead and do a song, shall we? Oh yeah, I have one more announcement. I have, and forgive me for doing this. I told people I was going to be doing this, and I'm going to do more. Here in the county and city that I live in, Los Angeles, there were some devastating fires in certain neighborhoods. I fortunately am grateful not to have been affected, but a couple people were. One of them is the person who does my hair. I started going to her about 4 months ago, and this is literally the best hair I've had in probably 15 years. I know that I have other problems going on with my image, but the hair is rocking, I think. And I'm just going to shout that from the rooftops. I think she's doing a great job. Anyway, she was unfortunately displaced. The house that she was living in was deemed unlivable, so she was pushed out on her own and now is staying with a friend and trying to figure out how the hell to get back into a stable situation. So she has a GoFundMe. I think I can just put it... Can I just put it in here? Let me know if this works. That's my hairdresser, and I please don't feel obligated. I just want to put it out there. If you wanted to put a small amount, I know that you don't know her necessarily, but she's wonderful and doing a pretty kick-ass job with my hair. So I want to put that out there. It does work. Okay, great. And there's going to be more too. This is the first time that I had. I mean, we've had fire season every year the whole 45 years that I've been here in LA. But this is the first time that I had actual people say that they were impacted. Evil Ian 02 says she does great work with the comb over. Yeah, the comb over is not her fault. You can only do so much with what you have to work with. I am one of these guys who's trying to fight the baldness situation, and I probably will throughout my whole life. It's been a very tough fight, but I will prevail. Fine cut void salts. What do you think about people who say they shouldn't be allowed to rebuild in high risk areas? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea to me. I mean, the problem is that these weren't high-risk areas. There was just an incredible combination of 100-mile-an-hour winds, zero humidity. It was 80 degrees, and you just had embers that were flying for miles super fast, and everything, if you'll excuse the cliche, everything caught on like wildfire. So it was just a terrible situation. This came down pretty far down into the streets, not right up in the mountains. So yeah, I don't think that you're going to be able to convince them to not build in the streets. But it's probably going to change. There's probably going to be even new regulations, and you're going to have to... what's the old nursery rhyme where they have the three little pigs and the wolf keeps blowing them down? They start with like straw and then they finally make it out of brick. I guess the moral of that story is make it out of brick. Let me know, fact check me if I'm getting that story wrong. Connie BVB, all of the world is going to be a high risk area in a few decades. That's true. It's very negative, but it's true. My kitchen is an extremely high-risk, not neighborhood, but a high-risk place. There's so many things that can go wrong in a kitchen. Think about it. Fire. You can have an explosion just like the one behind baby roast beef here in your kitchen just because you're making Pop-Tarts or something and you decided to put them in the oven instead of the toaster, whatever. You also have the threat of cutting yourself with knives. But the worst one is you actually demonstrate your cooking on YouTube, and then you run the risk of having people say that you're an imbecile. Okay. Duza says Pop-Tarts explode in the oven. Got it. No, I was just thinking maybe something else went wrong. Maybe you tried to use parchment paper and it touched up against, and you put it on broil, and it touched up against the fire that comes out, and then now you started a fire in your oven. There's all kinds of things that can happen. Computer, what is the most common accident that can happen with your oven?
Here's something I found on reference.com. Common electric oven problems include power issues, failure to heat up or heating too slowly, and problematic control knobs. Electric ovens also experience overheating, burnt food, faulty oven and indicator lights, and problems with the oven doors.
There you go. Thank you, computer. That was very helpful. Computer, I said that was very helpful.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Maybe you're welcome or something polite. Okay, Super Potatoes 1989 says, or people trying to deep fry frozen turkeys indoors. Oh yeah, I'll bet that's a big one. And Frawley says, I heard grapes create a portal in a microwave. Yep, and we've even seen that happen here. Parasitosis, I love my diesel-filled Pop-Tarts. Yeah, but okay, they are a risk. Oh, let's go to some of our alerts here. Saguaro Ooh has resubscribed for Tier 3. Hold that thought, Saguaro Ooh, because we're going to be doing one of your songs here in a second. Hoping for many more months of kitchen despite the overwhelming risks. Thanks, Saguaro Ooh. Thank you very much. And Uncle Jarf has resubscribed for 20 months. Well, I've been cooking along for 20 months now, and I'm afraid that at this point I won't be able to stop. Well, you have to keep going because otherwise you can't eat. So I don't think that's such a bad thing. B-Boy 1000 gifted a Tier 1 sub to Vanguard Depopulation Program. Thank you, B-Boy 1000. And Bradford Bartos, good to see you, has resubscribed for 28 months. Thanks for the support, Bradford. Bradford put in a request for Rosalinda's Eyes by Billy Joel about 2 years ago, and I still haven't learned it. It's a great song. But I've been pretty bad with the song requests, but I'm still going to try to get to them. I've been kind of, for lack of a better word, phoning it in and doing a lot of the songs that are a little easier, but not bad songs. We've got some really good ones today. Thanks, Bradford. Dooza gifted a Tier 1 sub to King Cyan of his name 69. Thanks, Dooza. And Norel Borel gifted a Tier 1 sub to Marilfi. Norel Borel, it was great to meet you in Naperville. There's rumors that we're going back to Naperville. We're in talks, so we're going to figure this out. Calicus resubscribed for 26 months. Happy days and sad too, but all okay with Henry and roast beef. Thank you, Calicus. Thank you so much. Roast beef at the moment, all is right in his world, and that's probably better than I can say for a lot of us. Purple Donut filling his fruit, resubscribed to Tier 3. Thanks so much. It's Kate. Thanks for rating us. And there we go. I think it's time to go ahead and do a song. Let's change up the background. We've got a song request from The Luge. So let's pull up a background here. Pug Lady. Here we go. We're going to use your background. I take it this is probably in the American Southwest region. The Luge wanted to hear this song. I think I need the capo in this one. We're going to put the reverb on. Okay. The Luge wanted to hear this song by a guy named Sean Mullins. I guess... no offense to Sean Mullins, but what you would call the definitive one-hit wonder. He had one hit called Rockabye, and it played a lot on the radio. I bought the album, And it was the one hit on the album, and the rest of them sounded like they were just him singing in his room. But again, I'm not trying to diss him or anything. I'm just saying it was sort of the end of the the end of the era of CDs. You know, it used to be you'd hear a song on the radio, you'd go buy the CD, but you'd have to buy 15 songs, so it would cost like $15. And there were too many times when they realized that the song that you heard on the radio was, I guess, the loss leader, and it would get you to buy the CD, and then you found out that you kind of paid too much for one song. And that's when Napster came around, and then it was iTunes and Spotify streaming, and now the entire bottom has fallen out of the whole music industry. Am I saying it's because of Sean Mullins and this song? I might be. Super Potatoes 1989. Now you can go to Walmart and buy the vinyl. All right. Well, that's good, but hopefully by now you can preview all the songs. Pug Lady says there's a Roadrunner staring right at me. Very cool. So we are definitely in the Southwest, because I remember being in Tucson and seeing a Roadrunner. It was pretty awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this song now. I just remember the song from growing up. I didn't really rehearse it. The whole thing is a little bit of a diss on LA, which I'm a little bit ambivalent about. I hear a lot of these songs of people bragging about whatever town that they grew up in and how much better it is than LA. I guess it's fun to do that, but I found it to be a pretty decent place to grow up. And there could be a little bit of bitterness involved. I'm going to find a different picture because I want it to look a little bit more. Here, let's go to Phaedrus's. We're still in the Southwest, but I think we're going to use this for now. All right, here we go. She grew up with the children of the stars in the Hollywood Hills and the boulevards. Her parents threw big parties. Everyone was there. They hung out with folks like Dennis Hopper, Bob Seger, and Sonny and Cher. Okay, already I'm going to call bullshit. No way that Dennis Hopper... Sonny was a conservative mayor of Palm Springs. There's no way he's hanging out with Dennis Hopper. And Bob Seger was a rambling man from Flint, Michigan. He's not hanging out with Cher, an aristocrat like that. So I'm already calling bullshit. Okay. But again, I'm gonna go in with the spirit of the song here. Now she feels safe in this bar on Fairfax, which I later found out was the Genghis Cohen, which is the one that I started at back in the 90s. And from the stage, I can tell that she can't let go and she can't relax. And just before she hangs her head to cry, I sing to her a lullaby. Not sure why she's crying. Or why he's paying attention to this while he's on stage. He should just be singing. You're right, Fine Cut Void Salts. Loading Scream, you have the voice of an angel, Henry. Thank you very much for that. Everything's gonna be all... Wait, how does this go? Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye. Rockabye. It's an octave high. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye. Alright. She still lives with her mom outside the city. Down that street about half a mile. And all her friends tell her she's so pretty. she'd be a whole lot prettier if she smiled once in a while. Please never tell anybody that. Because even her smile looks like a frown. She's seen her share of devils in this angel town. Everything's gonna be alright, rockabye. Dark Ages says, I never liked this song, but I like it less now. Okay. Everything's gonna be alright. I have that effect when I do covers. Rockabye, rockabye. Halfway through, I told her I ain't so sure about this place. It's hard to play a gig in this town and keep a straight face. Oh, it sounds like somebody's had a rough go of things out there in LA. Seems like everybody here's got a plan. Not a bad thing. It's kind of like Nashville, but with a tan. Yeah, because LA is the only place where people like to get a tan. Okay. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye. Burt Bufftug says Henry brings a certain I Am Henry's Kitchen vibe into the songs that he sings. Yeah. A little uncertain, a little shaky. So that's, yeah, Sean Mullins' one song. It was a diss on LA. It sounds like a nice growing up. I guess she was having a bad night and he saw her there and thought that maybe it was because of the town that she grew up in. Z-Ball says, guys, do the balls go in the condom? Please, fast, she is waiting. No, I don't think so. It's been a very long time for me, but I don't think so. Fine cut void salts. I'm in Michigan. People love tanning like. Yeah, no, I'm sure if you go to the, Grand Haven, go to one of the beaches over there on the West Coast in the summertime, of course. And what about Miami also? I mean, Florida, Texas, Everyone type Forson says, Henry brings a nice je ne sais quoi to Twitch. Thank you very much. Rainbow Road DUI, put a second condom on the balls just to be safe. Okay, everybody, we're getting off a little bit here, so we should probably try to get back on track. Thanks again, the Luge, for that trip down memory lane. Computer, how much does Sean Mullins make on royalties for Rockabye?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, he gets $20 million a year.
Okay, so there you go. We're all so much in the wrong business. And I don't know how to fix it. I think we've gone through all the pictures for today, so let's just find another background here. Let's use Kala's visual of Finland, the land of the midnight sun, or the absence of the midnight sun, depending on which era of time that you're there for. Loading Scream says you should get at least 5% of that 10 million just for that cover. Yeah, I should, really. I thought it was 20 million, no? I've already forgotten. Speaking of forgotten, let's go to roast beef here. He's pleasantly forgetting everything, and I gotta say I'm jealous. B-Boy 1000 users, is it okay to use the Henry's Kitchen apron for ceramics and not cooking? Yeah, you can use the Henry's Kitchen apron for pretty much anything that you need. Okay, everybody, let's do another song. This one was requested to us by Saguaro Ooh, which is appropriate because we just had a picture from Saguaro Ooh. Or no, we had a comment from Saguaro Ooh. This is a classic. This is Deep Purple. It's a famous song. This drops some names too. The Sean Mullins song was a big name dropper, and there's a lot of names being dropped. So maybe that could be the theme here today. Name dropping, of course, something that happens often in songs, because that way you can sort of make it sound like you're pals with all those people. Loading Scream, how does one acquire such an apron? It's difficult. They're not in stock right now. You can become a patron on the Henry's Kitchen Patreon, and then if you subscribe at a certain level, you do get an apron. And then I want to encourage you, if you want to lower your contribution after you get the apron, that's completely fine with me. Although some people have been very generous and kept at that high level even after they got the apron. And then some people just got the apron and then billed too, so that's fine. Okay, we've got some more alerts here. Falsers subscribed for tier 1. Thanks, Falsers. JV's Tech resubscribed for 27 months at the tier 3 level. Amazing. Thanks, JV's Tech. Sorry I'm late. Traffic was shit. Can someone clock me in while I put on my uniform? Yeah, can somebody clock in for JV's Tech? He's going to put on his Henry's Kitchen student uniform. Boom my. Thanks, JV's Tech, for that generous tier 3 subscription and has subscribed. Thanks, Boom my. And B-Boy 1000 cheered 100 bits and says, hey Henry, I got my apron a couple weeks ago. I don't use it for cooking. I use it for when I do ceramics. Can I still be a user if I'm not in the danger zone? No, I think it's probably safer, but ceramics can be dangerous too. You can cut yourself unintentionally. Saguaro Ooh, thanks for your resubscription. And thanks Uncle Jarf. And I think that brings us up to date. So let's go ahead and do now another song here. Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. I'm going to need to use the pick for this one, which of course I can't see. Hold on, everybody. I can't see. I'm going to do a pick of roast beef. Okay, not roast beef, Ozzy Osbourne, but close enough. And let's do this tune from the great Deep Purple. We still have the reverb on, right? Everything's going in terms of that. All right, this is going to be a tough one. This is a classic banger. This is a headbanging early hard rock. I wouldn't call it heavy metal, I don't think, but it's early hard rock. I think Black Sabbath would have been more the grandfathers of heavy metal. And now they've got grandkids. And those grandkids like to sit on their lap and hear stories about the early days. Okay, early stoner rock. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Okay, thanks, Stitch and Hat. All right, here we go. The classic riff, which Saguaro Ooh pointed out, apparently Richie Blackmore, who wrote it, says that it was sort of an inverted Beethoven's Fifth type thing. Beethoven's Fifth would have been... with the fifths. Okay. Anyway, here we go. Get ready to rock, roast beef. Records with a mobile, we didn't have much time. Frank Zappa and the mothers of invention were at the best place around. But some fucking idiot with a flare gun burned the place They burned down the gambling house. It died with an awful sound. The sound was probably something like, you can't roll a fucking 7? A funky clod was running in and out, pulling kids out of the ground. Wow. When it was all over, we had to find another place. But Swiss time was running out. It seemed that we could lose the race. Swiss time runs out? I didn't know that. Smoke on the water and fire in the sky. Smoke on the water. Computer, what is the song Smoke on the Water about?
Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple tells the story of the 1971 fire at the Montreux Casino, which was set off by Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention during a gig. The incident inspired the creation of the song by Deep Purple, which later featured on their album Machine Head.
We ended up at the Grand Hotel. It was empty, cold, and bare. But with the Rolling Truck Stones thing just outside, making our music there. It should say the Rolling Stones truck. It says here the Rolling Truck Stones. That can't be right. Making our, with a few red lights, a few old beds, we made a place to sweat. That sounds pretty gross, actually. Just 5 rock and roll dudes just sweating in a little bed. No matter what we get out of this, I know we'll never forget. But roast beef will forget because he has dementia. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Smoke on the water. Fondue Yourself says Rolling Truck Stones is how they sing it. I never understood it. Interesting. So that is correct. Interesting. Okay. Maybe he was reading it off of a lyric sheet that had a typo, and then that's the way he sang it, and it stuck. Maybe he was reading it from Guitar Tabs or whatever, Ultimate Guitar Tabs, which is rife with typos. Okay, everybody. There we go. That was Smoke on the Water by the great Ian Gillan and Richie Blackmore and, oh no, am I not going to remember? John Lord. Can't remember the bassist and the drummer's names, damn it. All right, well, we do have some cooking to do today, so I want to make sure that we get a little bit on track here. But let me check in with you guys. Fondue Yourselves, did this really happen? Song is my favorite way of getting history lessons. Yeah, it's also, as our resident Frenchman here, Balsamic, will tell you, it's a great way to learn languages. My friend was French, and he was growing up listening to rock and roll music, and he couldn't figure out what the word gonna meant. Gonna, gonna. And then he found out later it was sort of a slang version of saying going to, like I'm going to rock or whatever. I'm gonna rock. And then he started using it all the time, so much to where it was annoying, because he'd say it in the wrong place. Like instead of saying, hey, where are you going to? He'd say, hey, where are you gonna? Where are you gonna what? Balsamic, also TV shows and hanging out in the Discord in vocal with cool users. Yeah, absolutely. Calicus says Finnish is an easy language to learn. Really? I'm gonna have to try it. Okay, everybody. It's time to cook. I know it's not fun, but it's the thing we came here to do, so we got to do it. I woke up a little under the weather today, so excuse me if I sound a little like I'm coughing, and I don't know what it is actually. I thought it was COVID for a second, but now it's kind of tapered off, so maybe it was just one of those 24-hour things. All right. Welcome to my kitchen here, Henry's Kitchen, and I'll show you what we're going to be making today here. It's going to be called, that's not it. Damn it. Oh boy, that's pizza toast. We made that last time, and I think it was good. But hold on, now I got to go find, oh yeah, here it is. This is what we're making today. Balsamic rosemary pricked honey over peaches or something of that nature, and ricotta cheese. So that's going to be delicious, and I'm using a website here that's called Modest Living. Okay. And it says here, this is the most elegant summery dessert on the entire internet, and you can make it. So already they're not being modest. They're saying that their recipe is the best thing on the internet. These people. Norel Borel, Balsac peaches with pricks. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Check one. Everybody there? Okay. Squelching thud. I had this at my last sock hop. It went off. People slopped it up. Really? Computer, what is a sock hop?
A sock hop is a dance event for teenagers that was popular in the mid-20th century. It was an informal dance event that featured popular music. The term sock hop refers to the fact that dancers would often remove their shoes and dance in their socks to protect the floor.
Oh, okay. And so they still use that term? Or maybe you're 90 years old. I guess you could have been a teenager in 1950, which would make you about 90, yeah. Or maybe it's having a comeback. Sometimes that happens with terms. But thanks for that trip down memory lane there. And Bert Bufftug says, I've read that peaches come from a can. Is that true? Not these peaches. These peaches are from the farmer's market. And I also have honey, but I had to put it in a plastic bag because of the cockroaches. But we're going to pull it out for the first time in months. But yeah, these peaches are from the farmer's market. Of course, don't forget that the farmer's market is a little like jail, where when you show up, you have to kick somebody's ass right away. Otherwise, everybody else will think you're weak. So just find who that person is. That's what my grandmother told me, and she spent a lot of time in the clink. Mochi's Nirvana says they used to have sock hops in the 80s at the roller rink. Oh, I didn't know that. But if you're in your roller skates or blades or whatever, then you're not in your socks. Bone ligaments, have you considered cooking with the cockroaches? Nah, I tried to make peace, but it's too much. So the way that I've solved the problem, if anybody wants to know, I've put sticky saran wrap over the drains so it's impossible for them to come in. The only disadvantage of that is now I have to wash my dishes in the toilet. But as long as you flush a toilet several times, it's clean water. People think it's weird just because it's a toilet. It's some of the people that have come over for dinner, my dinner guests and stuff, but it's really not that. It's more in their head, I think. Borsenvin tipped $5. Thank you, Borsenvin. It says, but Henry, it's not even remotely peach season. End of June to September. Oh, I didn't know that. Would you consider using salsify, Jerusalem artichoke, or fennel? You mean instead of rosemary pricks? Probably. Those sound pretty delicious. Everyone type Forsen says fentanyl. No, this is fennel, which is similar. And we've also got a couple other comments here. Let me see how long before we have to do an ad. Oh boy. We have 206 viewers, 414 subscribers, which I think is very respectable. Ultran122 says, "Hi Henry, I just got here. I'm excited to see your Balsamic peaches." Yeah, these are from the fall farmers market. I think we have Balsamic vinegar, and then maybe you're mixing up the term that way. Let's zoom in so we don't see some of this background nonsense. Okay, all right. Well, I think it's going to be time here in a second for us to do... Let's go ahead and show an ad now. So I'm going to show an ad. We're going to get everything ready. And, sorry. I had a momentary moment of confusion there, which is redundant. Okay. It's too much going on. Oh, yeah, we're going to show an ad. So this will be time to get up, go to the bathroom, whatever. If you're a subscriber, you won't see an ad, and that's the whole advantage of it. But, yeah, so let's do that now. Here we go. I'll see everybody in 3 minutes, and then we're going to start cooking this thing. Okay, so the ad is running. I'm going to do a quick I'm going to show a video.
Stand up, stand up, stand up. Turn around and show
This is me when they stand up and do the wide shot. That's me on the bottom left.
Show them the pictures. Salvador.
This is probably 1986, I guess.
Is that not beautiful, huh? There they are.
That's Roddy Piper, and this was his short-lived variety show, and I made it onto the final cut on camera.
Okay, wonderful.
Very excited. I'm sure everybody in that cast is dead. Parasitosis right before the stuff tryout. Yeah, it was sort of around the same era. Quack2079 says, "Wait, I don't see the ad." Can we get it so that Quack2079 gets to see the ad? Bradford Bartos, sorry about the tough song. Any Billy Joel is great. I just like the deep cuts. Oh yeah, no, I agree. I've listened to it. I'm gonna have to. It's got some of those jazzy chords which take a little bit more doing, but I've done a couple. We did Still Rock and Roll to Me that was requested by Nella, who's one of our VIPs here as of today, and then also I know we did some other Billy Joel as well, and I'll do more. Loading Scream. I want to see the ad too. Guys, the idea isn't to see the ad. The idea is to watch the entertaining content of the broadcast. The ad is something that you have to watch in order to pay for it, I guess. But it's kind of backwards. You're supposed to not want to see the ad and want to watch the show. Quack279 says, "Henry, you should really stock up on plastic water bottles." Yeah. Because you never know when there's not going to be any. Do you mean just water bottles, or do you mean filled with water? Because the bottles aren't going to do me a whole lot of good by themselves. Fondue yourself. I am not a fan of fennel. Can I use farfalle instead? Or for farfalle? Computer, what is farfalle?
Farfalle is a type of pasta. The word farfalle comes from the Italian word for butterfly, which is farfalle. In the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy, farfalle are known as strichetti.
Computer, tell me about the Emilio Reggiani place in Italy.
This might answer your question. Emilio H. Navarra III was an American singer-songwriter of Tejano and country music. He is the winner of 1 Grammy Award and 1 Latin Grammy Award. Known to most by the mononym Emilio, he charted more
and they
than
named
10
a whole
singles
city
on
in
the
Italy.
Billboard Hot Latin
Computer,
Tracks
stop.
chart.
I think half the stuff that comes from Computer is just total bullshit. Kinder Orphan says, "I never appreciated ads before I found your stream, Henry." Well, thanks. And Quack2079, would a person in a wheelchair do sit-down comedy? I think that is. There are people that do it. And there's also comics that aren't in a wheelchair that sit down. And it's just you know, if you're going to be standing there, usually older ones, if they're standing there for 50 minutes or so, they're going to sit down at one point. I do it, and I'll be doing it February 22nd in Fairfield, Connecticut at the Sacred Heart Community Theater in Fairfield, Connecticut. You can go to henryphillips.com and go to the tour section and buy tickets. I think there's 66 people going as of now, and there's probably going to be at least 10 walk-ins. So we're going to clear 70 people, and that's enough for a show. It does hold about 1,000, so it will still feel empty as fuck, but it's going to be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. It is catchy, that song. We had an alert come in here. Bert Bufftug, which sounds like vulgarity, but it's not, says, "Hi, Henry. If you plan on using fennel in your dish today, please be careful. The hospital gave it to my wife for pain after her procedure, and it sounded very potent. I don't want you ending up as a statistic on the news." No, I think you're talking about fentanyl. I think there's a mix-up here. Fentanyl is the drug that apparently everybody's dying from. Fennel is a beautiful anise-based flavored fruit, I guess. Computer, is fennel anise-based?
I don't know that.
I could be wrong. Computer, does fennel taste like anus? Okay. Yeah, parasitosis doesn't even know it. I might be pronouncing it wrong. Okay, everybody, we're back. Let's do this. Okay, so let's take a look at our first order of business here. We've got our peaches, ricotta cheese, butter, and I'm going to pick a honey. We have light amber mountain forest. Let's just pick that one. And this is it, guys. And we're going to need rosemary pricks. They're in the fridge now. But we'll get those afterward. So let's see what the first thing is here. This is from modestliving.com. And it starts out, "This is the most elegant fucking summery dessert on the internet. It's better than anything your grandma's ever made or anybody." So they're not really living as modest as they should be based on their name. Dark Ages says, "Google says no, fennel does not taste like anus. The taste of anus is not a commonly described flavor." I think you spelled it wrong. It's ANIS. Okay, everybody. Ingredients. Okay, so we've gone over our ingredients. Step 1, in a food processor. We're not going to use a food processor, but we're going to do something better. We're going to process the ricotta until smooth, and we're going to spread it on our dessert plate. Okay, watch this. This is going to be amazing. I'll let you look at roast beef for a second while we do this next thing here. Guess what it is? It's our pink work bowl that a lot of people were very depressed because we hadn't seen it since pre-cockroach era. But I've got it back, so everything is back where it should be. So we're going to take our ricotta cheese, and we're going to be dividing this. This wants to do 4. I think we're going to do 4 servings. Let's just do 2 servings. And I have here half a cup. So this thing wants 3/4 of a cup. So we're going to do half of 3/4. That's going to be tough. Computer, what's half of 3/4?
Half of 3/4 is 0.375.
0.3, so like a third of a cup, but all I have is a half a cup, so I'm just gonna sort of fill this up, not all the way. Okay, I think that's probably pretty good. And it wants us to whip this into a frenzy. So let's get our whisker. This was a whisker that was donated to us. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was this Munch Hotel that gave us this? I don't want to give credit to the wrong person. But Munch Hotel, if you're there, I think this is what you gave, what you donated to Henry's Kitchen. I could be wrong. How does this work? Do you twist it? Oh yeah, okay. There we go. Nice. Everyone type Forson says, Munch gifted me crippling depression. Honky Tonk says, the whisker looks complicated. Yeah, it is. Kinder Orphan says, I'm making burgers for dinner. What do you like on your burgers, Henry? Oh, I like cheese. I'll do onions if they're grilled. Pickles, a little Thousand Island. I guess that's probably about it. Zlozlo says, this already looks like a frenzy. Yeah, it does. Okay, so we're going to spread this on a dessert plate. Now, I don't know what a dessert plate is. I'm just going to spread it on a plate. How about that? Dessert plate. It's if you eat dessert on it, then it's a dessert plate. I'm losing a lot of the cheese in just the process of whipping it. But I think that's going to work. Okay, and now next, in a large skillet, we're going to melt our butter over medium heat. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to grab the roast beef cam. Everybody just chill out for a second. I'm just doing a little technical work. All right, very happy to be using my green pan again if you want to take a look at it. This thing is not only a skillet, it's a frickin' weapon. I actually bought it because I was walking home and I didn't have any knife or anything, and I was going through a pretty scary neighborhood, so I figured, well, if I had this frying pan or whatever it is, I could use it as a weapon. But I thought, oh, well, I could also use this in the kitchen, and it turns out to be really good at both. In a large skillet, we're going to melt our butter, so we want 2 tablespoons of butter. I don't know if you guys know this, but the tablespoons are already demarcated for you on every stick of butter, which is awesome. That's gotten me out of a lot of jams. Gotta find a knife. Use a butter knife. Okay, and we're going to add the peaches and we're going to cut the sides down, cook for 3 minutes until they're softened, remove and divide among the plates. But we're only using 1 plate. Okay, so here's our peaches. I have to rinse these peaches because, but I can't do it in here because of course I've got my cockroach issue, so I'm going to have to do this in the toilet. Maybe meantime, we can watch butter melt as sort of a fun content that we can do in the meantime. Okay. I know that they want us to prepare these peaches. They need to be halved and pitted. Okay, so that's easy. I just cut around the pit. There's a pit in there somewhere. Okay, and then add the peaches, cut sides down, and cook for 3 minutes. All right. Computer, set timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
Okay. Let's see if we can get some of your questions. Thitchin Hat, The Teaches of Peaches, great album. Gumme Cande, brown butter is good. Yes, it is. Burt Bufftug, are they supposed to be pitted against each other? No, I think pitted means just sort of like ripped. Kinder Orphan, I like extra microplastics with my peaches. Yeah. Borsenfin says this is sure to get a Maischlong start. Okay. I'm not sure what Maischlong is. Burt Bufftug, ripped. Nice. So sort of like bodybuilding peaches. Yeah. Oh, Borsenfin says Michelin star. Yeah. Loading Scream says, I don't like peaches, but this recipe looks exciting. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm kind of excited about this. Computer, how much time left? Computer, how much time left?
You have 1 minute and 40 seconds left on your 3-minute timer.
Okay, so the next step, we should get ready for the next step. We're going to add some balsamic vinegar and rosemary. I don't have rosemary, unfortunately. I'll tell you what I have. I have some parsley. We're just going to have to settle. So maybe I'll chop a little bit of this parsley up. Now we have to wash this. So I'm going to take a bunch of it and I'm going to go to the toilet. And I'm going to wash my parsley there because I don't want to unseal the kitchen drains because of the cockroaches. So just give me a second. We can watch this in the meantime. Computer, how much time left?
You have 20 seconds left on your 3-minute timer.
I'm gonna put that in there. Why is it so fucking hot? I have it on 4. It's way too hot. And we're gonna add a little bit of our balsamic vinegar. Computer, stop. How do you do this now? Now we have a problem. Because I can't open this in time. Okay. 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 JSBX fan just resubscribed at the tier 3 level. Thanks, JSBX fan. Good to see you. And boil gently, uncovered for 45 until thickened. Remove and discard the rosemary, or in our case, the parsley, which I'm glad. Spoon the vinegar mixture over the peaches on plates. Well, I thought the peaches are in there. Oh, remove peaches. I missed a fucking step. They do this to me every time. It's 3 steps, but they tucked a step into step 2. They said melt the butter, add the peaches, cut the sides, cook 3 minutes, remove peaches, and divide. And I missed it. So now we have to couldn't have been easy. If I could change one thing about all of internet cooking, it would be this thing about tucking all these different... I guess they get paid more if they have fewer instructions, and that's why they do it, but it's dishonest, and I just don't like it. Okay, so now we've got this. It says... let's sort of stir this up. It says to remove this, which I'm fine with. Be careful, that's going to be hot. Computer, how much time left on the timer?
There are no timers set.
Oh. Okay. Couple of things going wrong here today, but that's all right. Okay, it says remove, discard rosemary, or in our case, parsley, for boil gently. We did that. Remove, spoon mixture over peaches on plates, and drizzle with honey. Okay, I think we can do that. Okay. This is not to be confused with Peaches and Herb, which was a 70s band that recorded the song Reunited, another one-hit wonder. Now I'm just going to fill this up with water so it's easier to clean in the toilet later. Okay. How are we doing? Okay, so I'm going to start putting stuff away. These are way too hot to eat right now. Put the butter back. Balsamic vinegar. Cheese. Parsley. And I'm going to drizzle some honey over the top. And if you're cooking this along with me, I'd like to see what yours looks like. You can post it in the Discord. There we go. This honey is going to make it all good. And let's put this meticulously back into the honey plastic bag because we don't want to start getting roaches. We've done pretty well. I haven't seen a roach since early January. And I don't want to go back to those days. I know you guys have questions. Let's check in on our alerts. Thanks again, JSBX fan, for the tier 3 subscription. Toke My Nuts says, looks fairly edible. Yeah, no, I think this looks pretty good. I hope it's good. I don't see why it wouldn't be. I'm going to get rid of some of these dirty dishes, and I'm just going to put them aside for now. Consolidate. What the fuck? The Luge. The Luge just donated $20. I assume because of my incredible rendition of the song request. Very kind of you, The Luge. Thank you very much. And it says, thanks for the song request, Henry. That Sean Mullen song is way better with you doing it. Never sounded better. Keep up the good work. Thanks, The Luge. The choruses gave me a little trouble because I'm fighting a little bit of a cold, and also I'm tone deaf. So I had a difficult time with the choruses, but I think the verses went well. And thanks for that. That's very kind of you. All right. Let's see what we're doing here. Let's put this camera back on roast beef. There he is. The Luge says, cheers y'all. Hi, Balsamic. Such cool brand. Cheered 100 bits and says, nice peaches. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Okay. Now I'm going to grab a fork. It's still going to be too hot to eat, and I don't want to burn the roof of my mouth, so I think this is probably as good a time as any to go ahead and do our song, which is our thank you song. And I'm going to add Nella in there because Nella is our newest addition to the VIP situation. And if I'm not mistaken, moderators are not able to be VIPs. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if you ever go like, well, why isn't that person? It's because of that technicality. Can we see roast beef? Loading scream says. Yep. Some people are cynical as to whether roast beef really exists. This could have been pre-recorded footage, but look, I'm going to go grab the guitar right now. So I would have had to have the foreknowledge to pre-record that bit if this was pre-recorded footage, and I just don't have foreknowledge in general. Game Master Flash says it's true. B took away my VIP status when she made me a mod. Yeah. It's one or the other, but they're both amazing. Okay. You're right, Saguaro. He is alive and well and always will be. Well, he's alive and always will be. I don't know how well he is, but actually, no, I went to the vet yesterday, and it looks like he's doing fine. Well, we're getting the blood results, but when you're that age, blood results mean nothing. It's like, well, of course, you have all kinds of stuff, but you're kind of on borrowed time. All right, let's go ahead and do our song to thank you, the users of this platform, for making Henry's Kitchen what it is. Maybe we could do it to the tune of Smoke on the Water by the great Deep Purple. Because it's a name-dropping song.
Nirvana, it's Kate, Kairosa, Bumble Vision, and the LG.
subscribers. Game Master Flash, the cat food taste tester, Cheering X, Mochi's Nirvana, Red Hot Hibachi, Ransom GR, Michelle Heffy, Zodbane and Toke My Nuts, Saguaro Uberito 5555, Dennis Sawyer, JV's Text, Sickly Boy, BLs and B, Caitlin's Kitchen, Yarkasm, Nico Tezo, Michael Bublé 4422. Passion Error in Ocean 64. Midnight Faded. Lost my pick. Oh boy. JSBX fan and SAD test. Cool Boy 789. Purple Donut Filling his fruit. Tanker Dan Borson, Ben Zodiac Tone, Gary Busey ASMR. Shandis Nova Glarian. Mr. Gooseberry VT, and don't forget Quanto. All right, that's a thank you to all of you, the users of Henry's Kitchen, for making it what it is, whatever it is. And look, that even got roast beef a little excited. Back in roast beef's rock and roll days, a song like that would start playing, and it would be time to get up and join the party. Do a little stretching. All right, so we're gonna try this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I am, I don't feel good. And this is one of those days where roast beef looks better than I do and feels better than I do, which I'm okay with. But I promised that we would play a little bit of Firewatch, so let's go ahead and do that. Check in on the alerts. Thanks again, Such Cool Brand, for the 100 bits. And wow, okay, we lost a lot of subscribers, I assume because of my rendition of that song, but that's okay. Loading Scream, take care of yourself. Thank you, thank you, Loading Scream. And Borsenben says, good singing. Thank you. Cranky Brian, maybe you have a nasty case of reverbicin. Reverb is on. Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry about that. Thanks for the encoded message there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start. What the fuck? Game Master Flash just gifted 5 Tier 1 subs. Amazing. Thank you so much, Game Master Flash. That's very awesome of you. And I know I have a couple of backed up song requests from you. Game Master Flash has incredible taste in music, but they're difficult. So it's going to be difficult for me to learn them, but that means they're probably better. All right, computer, set timer for 28 minutes.
28 minutes, starting now.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and play our game here. How do we do this now? Firewatch. Pancake King says you should go to the beach for the day, Henry. It always makes me feel better. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that today because I think I'm too sick to go to the beach, but maybe I'll do it when I'm feeling better. Okay. Make sure that nothing's downloading because that's a real pisser when that starts happening. Okay, here's our game. First, let's go ahead and try... Uh-oh. Is everybody there? Uh-oh. My computer froze. Is anybody...
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Computer, stop. Do you guys hear me? Do you hear me and see me? Steam tends to ruin stuff. We can see you. You can see me and hear me. So for some reason I can't. All right, let's see here. What is going on? This is really weird. Some weird shit going on here at Henry's Kitchen. How do I fix this? If you have trouble, use a chance to get some rest. JSBX fam, blink twice if you need help. So what do you see on the screen right now? You see Firewatch? Okay, I'm gonna restart the game because all I see is just me frozen. It's working for you guys and not me, which is weird. Okay, so quit. Yeah. That's so weird that it's working for you guys and not for me. I just don't understand. Yeah, I'm going to try some peaches. Okay, well, this is such a bummer. It wouldn't be my life if everything just worked well, just one time. Okay, so now you're seeing me, right? So if anybody's wondering what's happening to me, it's that my OBS is frozen on my end. But I'm going to just take your word for it. And if it works on your end, then I don't care. I guess I'm just going to play. But what a drag. Okay. So first things first. You can see me with the I know, loading screen. The problem is I've never had this problem before. It's just a new problem, and it's annoying. But right now you can see me in the regular Henry's Kitchen situation. Am I right about that? I'm gonna have to be leaning on you guys for that. Okay, thanks, Consensual Bandit. I'm gonna take a little bit. Calicus, thanks so much for joining. I'm sorry about the technical problem. Okay, thanks, JSBX fam. Okay. Wow. All right, I've tried the cheese, and the cheese is pretty good, although it's just the cheese out of the packaging. Let's see what else we got here. Wow, this peach is very hard, and I'd say a little bit overcooked maybe. I can dig it. Oh, my camera's back. That's nice. I'm not sure what happened. It's good. There's enough butter on here to kill a 55-year-old man. So that's going to be problematic. Valio Farron, yeah. Roast beef, when he wakes up, he's very old. He's 20 years old, which is the equivalent of like a 100-year-old man. And he's had 9 lives. So if you multiply that by 9, so that's like 900 years old. So when he gets up, he walks around and just kind of hurts. And it sucks. But I took him to the vet yesterday just as a regular checkup, and they said he's doing pretty well. Cats get used to the idea of humans being able to help them. Here, I'll set up the camera so that you can see them. let's see what's going on with roast beef over here. He's trying to figure out if he should go to the bathroom or not. I think it's probably a big decision. I think he's opting against it now, I guess. I don't know. Okay, we're going to go on to something else. I'd say the peaches were a success. It tasted good. A lot of butter, though. Okay, let's go to this. This is our game. Oh, I need to turn on the sound. And we have an alert there from Balsamic. Let's see what that says. Balsamic says, tipped $5. Amazing. Thanks so much, Balsamic. It says, Henry, I can tell from the crunch sound it made that this peach is not ripe. It's February. Oh, okay. Well, I think the butter, if you put enough butter on anything, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Roast beef doing his business. And we're going to go ahead and play our game here. I just need to crop this. Put on the green screen. Wow, we lost a lot of time there. Computer, how much time left on the timer?
You have 20 minutes left on your 28-minute timer.
Okay, we're going to play a little bit here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so you can hear me, you can see me. Everything's working from a technical perspective. Okay, so I remember this now. So utility pole. I'm going to have to lean on you guys. Uh-oh. Oh boy. All right. Roast beef, you're bumming everybody out with this. All right, hold on a second. I had to put him back in his bed. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he's going to chill out. I mean, he's got food, he's got his bed, he's got water, he's went to the bathroom. I don't know what else a human being could want. But then he's not a human being, he's a cat. So, all right, everybody. I'm going to need some help here. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to... Can I do anything with the utility pole? No. Let me go to the map. What's wrong, buddy? All right, we're going to have to do something here. I put him on the couch, so I'm hoping that that is a more amenable position for him. Yeah, he's just he's got a little bit of the dementia, so it's literally like a 100-year-old man, I guess, but he's able to walk, which is better. Oh boy, he's kind of buzzkilling it. Norel Boro says beef can tell you aren't feeling well, so he's yelling at you. Yeah, I think that's the way they work. Okay. So we've got a map here. I need to figure out where... Oh yeah, I was supposed to go to... Was it Jonesy Lake? Yeah, I think I'm supposed to go to Jonesy Lake. Where's the part that says where I am? It says find the teens. Okay. So I want to go west. All right, I'm going to put the map away. And then I can't use this thing right now. Okay. That's a great way to look at it, Fondue Yourself. Thank you. Okay, find the teens. Oh yeah, I remember this. Blocked trail. Fuck you. Can't jump over stuff. So I'm going to have to get the map. Yeah, I'm all blocked. Okay, so maybe... Well, I need to go south, I guess. I think I need to turn around. South, okay. The more beef, the better. June the Ghost. Well, you're getting beef for sure right now. All right, guys. Not sure how this works. Yeah, no, I can't do anything. Does somebody want to tell me? Oh, you have to put the map away to climb. Okay, little technicality there. This is yeah, and it doesn't work. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to stop for a second because roast beef. I'm not concerned for his health, but it's just they mimic the sound of someone who's in horrific despair, and so I'm gonna have to deal with it. I think so. Sorry about that. Roast beef has ruined yet another gaming stream, but there's just no other way to do it. Yeah, you're right, Game Master Flash. Let's cut to another one. Let's see if we can find somebody that we can jump in on, maybe who's gaming. Maybe we'll check in on our old buddy, the LGX, and see if we can get our fill of games. And I'm very sorry about this. I'm going to put roast beef back in his place here. And we'll end with one final shot of roast beef. I guess he's trying to figure out the optimal place to chill out. So as soon as we're done with the stream, he's going to be quiet. He just wanted to ruin it. Yeah, okay. All right, thanks, Beelzebub. Yeah, I do feel a little under the weather, so I think I'm probably going to nap a little bit. Hopefully roast beef, once he doesn't hear me streaming anymore, he'll finally think that this is a good time to go to sleep. Yeah, now he's all chill. Okay. T-Dews, watch The Holdovers with Beef today. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, that was an excellent movie. You mean the one with Paul Giamatti? Came out about 1.5 years ago. That was wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and see who we can do a raid on here. And want to thank once again all of you. And congratulations to Nella for being a VIP. And I'm going to go ahead and put this message in there one more time here. This is, a lot of people say to me, hey, wow, Henry, your hair looks great. Daldamet, thanks for rating us. I was just saying, a lot of people say that my hair looks fantastic, especially in the last 4 months, and it's because I met, I have a new hair person, and I think she's doing a great job. There's not a lot we can do with this. I have a very large forehead, and a lot of the hair is falling out of it, so I'm sort of bald and everything. But in terms of what she has to work with, she's been doing an incredible job. She is one of a few friends that I know who have been completely displaced by the fires, and now she's living with a friend temporarily, trying to figure out what the next move is. So I'm going to go ahead and post her GoFundMe. You don't have to feel any pressure But if you felt like doing a few bucks or whatever, she's a great person and a great hair cutter mostly. So I definitely wanted to do my part. And I'll be doing this more too for friends of mine. We had some people that were very largely impacted and displaced. Big Nesky says, looking like a young relapsing Gary Busey, Henry. Thank you. I like the young part. Okay. Saguaro U says, and. Yeah. Maybe there was more going on there. Borsenvin says the. Okay, people are just starting to put one word. So maybe that's time to go ahead and do. Everyone type force and just simply said balls. Okay, it's time. Purple donut filling is fruit. Yeah, this was an incredible recipe. We made peaches and cheese. It was really good. If you want to see the way that theirs came out, obviously they've got better photographers. But I think we're doing pretty good right here at Henry's Kitchen with our peaches and balsamic vinaigrette over ricotta cheese. It's just an overall nice afternoon snack to get you going. One last shot of roast beef, who now is completely chilled out and kind of pisses me off how comfortable he looks right now. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do a raid. I'm going to see if my buddy, well, the LGX is almost always streaming, so I'm going to check that out right now. We haven't done one in a while. Yep, Grand Theft Auto 5. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Hey, we made some good stuff. We had a little bit of a problem with the gaming, technical issues, and then my cat ruined it. Plus, I have cockroaches in my sink, so I have to wash my dishes out of the toilet. But other than that, things are going pretty well here at Henry's Kitchen. And thanks, Big Nesky. And I appreciate all of your contributions and everything. And we're going to go ahead and start a raid on my buddy, the LGX, in 10, 9, 8. Thanks, Loading Scream, the Chunks, Borsenvin. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Nella. Thanks, Dark Aegis, Lisi. So many. Gumme Cande, thanks for your picture. The Chunks, Starlet, 80. Thanks for the Get Well, and Norel Borel. And let's go ahead and do this raid in 3, 2, 1. See you, everybody. Thanks.
Yeah. I don't think Harold likes glitter. I don't think he likes glitter. Well.
Yo, Ninja's live?